When it comes to some of the most spectacular forms of motor racing, no place comes anywhere close to the last great Coliseum. As we welcome you to the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split, live from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, and we're ready to bring the action here live on Friday night. Given with that, we are here. My name is Taylor Burrows. Alongside me is Joseph Kazi, and our producer tonight is the great Austin Derbyshire. Joseph, this track here, Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, a track that we're happy to say we're not dirt racing anymore this time of the year. We're back to, of course, the old concrete jungle itself.
Thank God we're back at the dirt, not at the dirt anymore. We're back here at the concrete. This is going to be a good one. Hopefully these guys can keep it clean and civil with each other, and we won't have too many caution with this one.
Absolutely. Let's take a look here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, courtesy of Google Earth, as we zoom on in here as we are at Bristol, Tennessee. This track opened back in 1961. This half-mile circuit has been home to some of the best short-track racing action in all time. We've seen some of the greats. Who could forget back in the 90s, where drivers such as Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt squared off against each other. Drivers where we saw these best of the best action happening on this 22 to 24 degrees of banking, and we're going to be seeing a lot of these drivers run right up against the outside wall here at Bristol, because that is going to be a fun place to watch, but also a little bit of changes here and there where drivers may use different grooves throughout certain points of the run.
Definitely got to use the bottom, and if you want to be good on the long run. So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of mix in between different lines everybody will use. So we'll see how it all shakes out.
Absolutely. In fact, those keys to the race, that top line we talked about, is the fastest way around here, but you're going to burn up your equipment really quickly. So, like Joseph said, we'll utilize that bottom line to save tires as we get longer into the run, and it's Bristol, baby. Don't be afraid to use the chrome horn here tonight, as we'll see some action utilized here and some beating and banging. Good old short track racing action here at Bristol. Take a look at the championship standings right now, and a little bit of a surprise for some of our drivers. Garrett Maines, our defending NiS champion, is currently sitting in second, as Nicholas Vroman, who won last time out at Phoenix Raceway, is definitely going to be the one to compete for this championship. Then you got Matt DeCiani, Joseph Gulata, Jacob Schneider, Chris Wilhite, Jacob Schneider again, of course, and then Joseph, Alex Murray, Bruno Milo will round out your top 10 for the most part, and a couple of other drivers working their way up compared from the last time we were over in the west side at Phoenix. As we get ourselves situated, qualifying currently just about wrapping up. Currently, it is eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver Garrett Maines at the top of the leaderboard with the standings. Taking a look at the weather, well, good news is it does not look like rain. It's actually a very comfortable day. 75 degrees is the air temperature, but Joseph, I gotta ask this. That track temperature, 90 degrees, how is that going to affect the car handling as we progress through the race?
It's not too hot today. We could have worse, but today we have pretty good track weather. But once the action starts heating up, the track will start getting hotter and hotter as the cars go around the track. So we'll see how much the track changes along with these cars running around the track tonight.
As we take a look at the schedule, of course, this is our last race for the week, but next week, we're going to get a little bit weird in Austin all week, starting at Monday night as we do the Monday night top split with the A Open and B Open over at Circuit of the Americas, as we then continue on with the Champions Power Equipment Truck Series, Thunderclap, and then back here on Friday night. Of course, we do have openings for some great racing action on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, so if you're interested in wanting to partner with us here on GridVision, reach out to us on social media to have your chance to have your league broadcasted live on GridVision. And with that, the field has been lined up, and all I gotta say is this is gonna be exciting as we get ready to set up for the starting lineup here tonight. And as the drivers get themselves situated, let's go ahead and take a look at some of our picks for tonight as we look through it as the field is getting set up. Pick for me tonight is going to be, of course, Nicholas Vroman. He's already a back-to-back looking to go 2 for 2 this season. He's already been doing quite well this year at tonight's action, but that number 2 machine is going to be one to watch. As Joseph, who's your pick tonight?
I'm going to go with Sean Conklin. He's very aggressive, usually knows how to get it done, and we'll see tonight. He's going to need that aggression tonight to keep it up near the front.
And our producer, Darby, he feels the same sentiments as me. He's going to also go with Nicholas Vroman as our commentator standings. Currently, me and him are tied for that. So, of course, that only goes towards if your driver wins the race. So, not the highest finisher. But with that, let's go ahead and give you your starting lineup. And at the front of the field, it's a Ryco Performance 1-2, as it's a lockout field with Garrett Maines and, of course, Nicholas Vroman. Then we go to Sean Conklin and James Houghton in row number 2. Paul Bergoli and Joseph Gulata will be in row number 3, with Johnson Lim and Dalton Collins in row number 4. Matt DiCiani and Brad Newman round out your top 10, and Joseph, take 11 through 20.
Let's see. On the inside, we got Nolan Hodgson and Jose Acosta on the outside. And row, I don't know what row it is. Patrick Gitter and Miguel Bento. Row number 13, Miller Bonds and James Wenzel. And row 14, we got Richard Garcia and Bruno Mello. And row 15, we got Justin Levine and Alan Pagari. Row 16, we got Tanner Love and Kenny Powell. Row 17, we got Ron, I don't know how to say that clearly, and Corey Hines. Row 18, we got Jose Harbarn?
Josh Harvin.
Josh Harvin, okay, I have stuff in front of my screen.
Yeah,
and Nicholas Padvich.
Moving on, we got Joshua Watson and Brandon Wilkinson, and then Alex Murray, and of course Logan Powers, and then Edward Shear Jr. and Maggie McGuire. Moving on down the line in 31st and 32nd. 33rd and 34th will be James Roy Milbachler, Scott Healy, and Chris Davis will be riding shotgun here tonight. Joseph, we're looking forward to some great racing action here tonight. Of course, Fred, the pace car driver, hashtag bring back Benny, I will have to say. So as they work, go ahead.
No. I didn't mean anything.
It's all good. Fred, the pace car driver, makes the hard left turn down on the pit road, and there is the Ryco green flag from Barney the Flagman. We're back racing here for the first time at Bristol for the week on Friday night as the field works their way through, and already you see the driver, Garrett Maines, take over the race lead as they head off down, and already lap one is going to be up on the board, and everyone's just jockeying for position. It's going to be Maines, Conklin, Vroman, and Houghton, your top three as they work their way, but trouble for Vroman. He's fallen all the way back, quite a ways outside the top 10. He's going to have to come down pit road. Trouble for both myself and Darby.
He probably has a wheel issue or screen issue or something tonight, so maybe he can recover here later on in the race.
We'll have to see as Sean Conklin is already on hot pursuit to catch up to Garrett Maines here for the race lead. Right behind him, James Houghton, another one of the Ryco drivers, is trying to close in on the pack here as well. He's your top in third position. A little further back, you see Paul Brigoli in the fourth spot. Everyone kind of spacing themselves out, trying to get themselves situated for a little bit of a long run here and try to set themselves up for a good finish here as they work their way through. And already you see Nicholas Vroman back out onto the racetrack. Kind of wonder, because it looks like he just did a full-on drive-through pit stop pretty much for a penalty, so I wonder if he jumped the start. That's my question. But with that, he is already going to be put not one but at least two, maybe three laps down already, so he's got a lot of work to do to try to see if he can go up and challenge at least for a top 10.
Yeah, if he jumped the start, then that's definitely going to be how should I say, it's going to put him back quite a ways. So hopefully we'll get a caution here soon and he'll get back to one lap down and get another one, and he'll be back on the lead lap.
We can report that Brandon Wilkinson is the only driver who did not start, so he is not going to be competing for the night. As we keep an eye a little further back, some battling around for position. That is going to be, I believe, Nolan Hodgson along with the 57 machine. A couple of other drivers jockeying around for position here as the 21 of Patrick Gitter is having a good run.
All right.
Watching on as Patrick Gitter is trying to hold on to position, currently in 11th, trying to catch up to Jose Acosta right there ahead of him in the 26 machine as they work their way through the middle of turn 1 and 2. Already Miller Bonds ahead of him. That's your tail end of the top 10. They're trying to jockey around as we watch Dalton Collins slicing and dicing with Nicholas Vroman already. And Vroman may try to have a shot at going for a run here up towards front to get one of his laps back.
Yes, he's definitely making a headway, trying to get through the field, trying to get his lap back the hard way. If he gets there, we'll see.
All right, well, as the field works their way around the circuit, there you see Dalton Collins is already on a big run up through the field. And there you see a couple of other drivers negotiating through their traffic and everything like that as we watch on the action. And you see the 7 machine right there of Patrick Gitter also in the hunt as well. Actually, that's not Gitter, that is Miguel Bento in the mix in the 7 machine. Apologies on that.
Patrick Gitter, I seen him get loose a couple laps ago, so hopefully he just keeps his pace up or not overdrives the car too much, and he'll keep going forward in this position.
He's doing it as best he can as we go back up to the front of the field. Sean Conklin has got to the back bumper of his Ryco Performance teammate driver of Garrett Maines. The two drivers have already pulled out to about a 1.2 second lead over the rest of the field. He looks to the inside of Maines, can't quite make it work, stays stuck behind him as he tries to give a little bit of room here for him as they work their way out of turn number 4. Across the start-finish line, we're already putting 17 laps up on the board, and they're closing into the tail end of the field right now. Currently, Joshua Loon and Maggie McGuire looking to be put a lap down, and can report Brandon Wilkinson has joined the track finally after some issues. But he's got a bunch of laps to make up. He is 12 laps down from your race leader. Pretty much just try to survive, see if he can scrap up a couple of spots in order if anyone takes out of the race early on. But it's a long night for him as the leaders are already making short work and closing into the tail end of that field.
As it does not take long here to get to the back of the field here. It's just like we're 20 laps in and we're almost already there to getting cars a lap down already.
There you see the gap right there on screen. There you see the top 2 coming out of turn 2, and your tail end of the field is already not even halfway through turn 3 as there's a caution. One car is around. That is going to be the 32 machine of Junsung Lim in the number 32 machine. As the first caution comes out, 21 laps on the board. It looks like he just lost it coming out of turn number 4. We'll get a look at the replay here momentarily to see how exactly that happened. But automatically, you could see drivers such as Maines and Conklin just absolutely check out on the field. If it wasn't for that caution, they probably would have started lapping the field within the next 2 to 3 laps.
As you were saying, the 32 just lost it all on his own. He ran up into, I'm getting the 2 car, but I'm not exactly sure which car it was. Rob Carroll, and he just lost it.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. He got in that back bumper, lost control of the rear end, and no other significant damage to the number 32 of Junsa Lim. But that will put him 1 lap down for the moment. And looking to see if anyone decides to come down pit road. Joseph, I mean, is it too early to come down pit road given the fact of this, or would you want to come down, top off with fuel, maybe do a little fuel strategy saving, as we see a couple of cars come down pit road?
I wouldn't say it'd be too early. Maybe if you were to get a long run here, the fuel, if that may have helped to, longer your run, but it's in between. You don't want to take tires. It's still early, too early to take tires, but you don't want to actually give up traffic. So, me, I would stay out.
Well, we'll see. Most of the field did stay out for the most part. At least 2 to 3 cars decided to come down pit road. Brad Newman, Maggie McGuire, Corey Hines, and Logan Powers all decided to come down pit road this time by. Everyone from 28th up decided to stay out on this lap here. So pretty much a good strategy. Everyone agreed with you on that one, Joseph, as it is too early to come down pit road for the time being. But meanwhile, it has been a Ryco 1, 2, and 3 for the most part. No pressure pretty much from anyone else behind as they get themselves situated for this run. Yeah! As we get ourselves situated here, but in the 4th position is the Team Conti driver of Joseph Gulata. Then Paul Bergoli with the Bergoli eSports team sits in 5th. Dalton Collins with the Legacy eSports team sits in 6th. Miller Bonds, of course, one of the other Ryco Performance drivers, is sitting in 7th. Miguel Bento right there as well in 8th. Jose Acosta in 9th, and then rounding out your top 10 is the Team Conti driver of Patrick Gitter, as we're going to double up and get ready to go back green flag racing once again. And it's a Ryco Performance 1-2 for the time being. Keeping an eye on the competition here tonight as Fred the pace car driver will make that hard left turn down on the pit road. 25 laps are up on the board, coming to lap 26. And there goes Fred. Barney the Flagman has the Ryco Performance green flag in hand. We're back at it. Another great jump from the field from Garrett Hayes, and he's already pulling away from the rest of the field as they work their way through. But Sean Conklin tries to close into the inside. He'll show the nose, thinks better of it, decides to stay tucked up behind him for the time being, and work their way through the middle of turns 1 and 2 before they come back across the line here in 3 and 4. And now your top 3 now starting to separate from the rest of the field, and everyone else jockeys for position further back. In fact, from Gitter to Bergoli, it's 2 by 2 all the way back. Keep an eye on the competition here. You see Paul Bergoli running that outside lane. Then you see a second lane that Gitter is trying to run in the middle line. And then you see the number 7 machine of Miguel Bento trying to run that inside lane, but he's getting passed currently by the number 12 of Miller Bonds, who will try to go around the outside. There comes Justin Levine in the GridVision car in the number 1. He's looking to try to form a 3rd lane almost as he stays tucked up on the outside lane, following that number 4 of Matt DiCiani, who's having a good run.
And Justin's trying to make that high line work. Hopefully he doesn't burn up his stuff too much, so he'll keep passing these cars, and he'll hopefully get back towards the bottom and keep this this position's going.
Well, he does got one driver behind him. That's Alex Murray in the Team Conti number 22 as Levine goes down to the bottom of the racetrack now through the middle of the corner instead of staying up. Now he'll transfer up to the top side as Murray transfers down as they work their way out of turn number 2. And how about this? Richard Garcia, he goes right down to the bottom of the racetrack to get around Alex Murray for the time being, but can't make the pass work. But Levine on the outside is making some moves as he makes the run out of turn number 2. He's about to break in. In fact, he is in the top 10. He sits at 8th, trying to go for more around Miller Bonds. Can keep an eye on the field right now. Can report that Nicholas Vroman did get one of his laps back, so he is going to stay out there. He's now only one lap down from your race leader and in the lucky dog spot for the moment. Until we see our race leader start to catch the tail end of the field right now, we'll see how this will play out for them as they work their way through. They've already checked out to about a 1.2 second lead again, and they're wanting more as they work their way through.
Conklin is all over Garrett Maines right now. He is looking everywhere to try to get a peek of a little nose to try to get Maines to make a mistake.
He's doing that, but he's also just knowing that if these two pull away for the most part there, Joseph, they are in control of this race. No pressure. It's just going to be these two. The Left Court Brothers Racing number 12 of Garrett Maines is doing a great job. But how about this battle for third? Houghton looking to the inside, and he's trying to hold off a hard-charging Joseph Gulata, who is in a big run with Dalton Collins. This is the battle for the final step of the podium in third as we ride on board with the Champions Power Equipment Machine of DC as he works his way, trying to close in. Started ninth, picked up a couple of spots, but here comes Bergoli on the outside.
Bergoli just used that high side and got a big run off the high side to get past DC out at the bottom. And he's looking to try to get some more.
He wants some more indeed. He's going to now go to the bottom of the racetrack, actually midline, as here comes Golota. He'll look to the inside and try to see if he can get a good run to get around James Houghton for that third position. Can't quite make it work right now, but he is in contention as here comes Paul Bergoli with a big head of steam off turn number 2. In fact, last time by, he was a little bit faster than the drivers ahead of him. He's going to see what he can do and try to close the gap, but right now, Dalton Collins is in the hunt as he is now being pressured by Miller Bonds, who's on the outside.
Ulata is working the bumper of Houghton. He is trying to get past him.
Keeping an eye on the competition here. We apologize for any situations that are going on, but we are watching some great action as Levine goes around the top side of Dalton Collins. Levine has been really working that outside lane. Can we see this come into play where those tires start to fall off just a tick? But so far, he's been running some good pace for the moment as we are approaching just about almost quarter distance here for the field. And they work their way around the field.
Hopefully, Levine can keep the longevity of the tires. Hopefully, you don't start getting loose off in these corners while getting on throttle.
Absolutely. As we watch on, here comes a big run by Alex Murray of the Team Conti GG machine. He's trying to get into the mix. It's pretty much a hard charge. You got Ryco, you got Reaper, and then you got the Team Conti GG. So 3 different teams working at it, trying to battle it out for position. Watching on here as we pick up the battle for P3. This is the driver of Joseph Gulata. He's looking to the inside of James Houghton for that third spot. He's going to push up the driver of Houghton up the track a little bit, but that's not going to work because the outside momentum is huge here at Bristol as we see Houghton hold strong, but here comes Paul Bergoli with a big run.
Houghton is trying everything to keep Gulata from freaking passing him. He is wearing out that high side.
Good race here between the battle for third right now, but pretty much nobody has caught up to Garrett Maines and Sean Conklin. They are now almost 3 seconds behind your top 2. And your last car on the lead lap, Brad Newman, he is definitely going to be struggling a little bit. He is about to be put a lap down here in a few moments.
Looks like Houghton has gone into the wall and has slipped back now.
Yeah, looking to see. He has dropped back to 5th, and he's falling further and further. Looking to
His
see.
tires look like he has ate them up. It looked like the high side has did a number on his tires.
Oh, I think he might have had a little bit of help from Joseph Gulata as well in 3 and 4. So that could be also another reason that those tires have given up as well, with him sliding the tires a little bit, trying to recover and not cause a big incident here. So Joseph Gulata now moves up to P3, while James Houghton has fallen all the way back to P9 as one car goes for a little bit of a ride. That's Miguel Bento, who is able to gather it back up in that number 7. But now is under heavy fire now from Matt DiCiani and Patrick Gitter. Gitter having a good run right now. He's trying to get around the Matt DiCiani number 4 machine, as well as also catch up to Miguel Bento to try to break into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Working their way through. There's a big gaggle of cars right there. You got James Roy Milbochler and Joshua Watson all right there. This is the battle for the 11th spot, as Richard Garcia has checked out from them for the time being, as the caution is out. Big one here, as multiple drivers are trying to avoid it. Garrett Maines gets some big issues and damage right there, possibly trying to avoid the chaos, as the 74 and the 75 machine.
34, Rob Carroll's down here at the apron as well.
Yeah, they
trying to get it back going.
Bruno Milo also involved. Chris Davis involved in this one. As we'll get a chance to take a look at the replay as we're under caution for the second time here tonight. It seems like every time, Joseph, our leaders catch up to the tail end of the field, a caution comes out. So I don't know if it's a bold strategy or not the best strategy, as Garrett Maines decides to come down and lead the entire train of competitors down pit road. But this will give the lucky dog to Nicholas Vroman, and he's going to be back on the lead lap.
That's exactly what Roman needed. Get back on the lead lap, and now you can start picking off for some positions here and start going back forward.
Absolutely, as Garrett Maines leads the train of drivers down pit road, seeing who will stay out. I bet it's safe to say that nobody is going to stay out except for a couple of drivers, as we take a look at the instant replay. So this is between the 25 machine and the 74 and Brad Newman. Actually, the 2...
from what I was seeing, the Rob Carroll and Kenny Powell was the one that started this caution. Looked like Rob Carroll got a little low, or they both met in the middle. Kenny Powell and Rob Carroll both met in the middle, and then that's what started the caution.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that here. They were trying to go into a hole that wasn't there for Rob. And, of course, and then Kenny Powell right there on the inside. Here's another look at the replay. Kenny trying to come up, Rob trying to come down, and nobody's clear. And then, of course, Junsu Lim involved in that, getting some damage. And then, of course, a couple of other drivers like Chris Davis, as well as a few other drivers, as well as the race off pit road goes as this. Brad Newman decided to stay out onto the racetrack for the time being. He's been on 37-lap-old tires. Sean Conklin, Joseph Gulata, Paul Bergoli, Miller Bonds, Justin Levine, Alex Murray, Dalton Collins, James Houghton, Richard Garcia, and Miguel Bento are your 10 drivers off of pit road. And Mr. Garrett Maines, well, he's down in 27th position. So if you're wanting something exciting, watching Garrett Maines go through the field, that's going to be one to watch here tonight.
It's fixing to get very exciting. Garrett Maines is going to have to work through the field, and there's a lot of traffic.
Absolutely. Here we are currently on lap 60 of 250, 190 laps to go here in the race. And of course, if you are in tonight's racing action here on GridVision, if you're tuning in, and if you want to give your thoughts during the race, make sure to join us on the GridVision channel on Discord. You can find it on our social media platforms, and come up in the booth during cautions, give your thoughts of how your race is going so far. Give a shout out for any of our drivers out there, as Fred the pace car driver makes the hard left turn. Brad Newman will lead them to the green flag and gets a great jump But how will those tires fare? 37-lap-old tires versus brand fresh Goodyear Eagles. And it's going to be no surprise. Here comes Sean Conklin down to the inside, looking to try to take over the race lead here in the early stages as he's trying to hold on, and he will have to deal with a hard-charging, big momentum of Brad Newman on the outside as he's trying to just keep it momentum going. But the problem is going to be how long will his tires go as they work their way through. Here comes Paul Bergoli and Joseph Gulata, who are making a big effort to catch up to Sean Conklin.
Well, it looks like I've got on my information here that Brad Newman may have took tires on lap 21. So he may be able to hold off Conklin for a little while, but we'll see here in the long run.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a 37-lap difference between Brad Newman's tires and Sean Conklin. So it's not too much of a difference, but it's still going to be how long can he hold him off. As here comes Justin Levine around the outside of the driver of Joseph Gulata to move up to P4 for the moment. But Paul Bergoli right there ahead of him. Then you got Miller Bonds right there, James Houghton, Alex Murray, Dalton Collins, and Richard Garcia, your top 10 as they race off of turn 4.
A lot of shuffling going on here in the back. They're trying to make their way forward, so hopefully they don't cause a wreck here. You see Justin side Joseph Gulata there. Gulata got a little bit loose. Justin's going to pick up that position and onto P4.
Right. Right. Go ahead there, Joseph.
No, I was just going to say, Newman's moved up top, and now he's moving backwards. Bergoli has gotten up to second. Now Justin's looking towards the bottom, pick up this P3.
He is doing his best. Brad Newman's trying to hold on the outside lane as Levine tries to get the run going and tries to dime in the corner a little bit. And for those of you wondering where Garrett Maines is, he's in 16th position as trouble for one driver. Nolan Hodgson is around and several others. Kenny Powell also involved in this one. Kenny Powell, severe damage. And Nolan Hodgson also got some damage. And tempers flaring already here tonight at Bristol as Kenny Powell pulls it behind the wall. His night is going to be done.
It was like Logan Powers trying to take a dive bomb at the 12 car, and it just didn't work out.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the replay. Right there is the first contact. And then boom, right there. So tough break as the 48 machine will get some significant damage and send up the field. Logan Powers. Yeah, Logan Powers absolutely used the chrome horn for sure on that. One of our keys to the victory tonight, keys to the race. Use the chrome horn if you're not afraid to do it.
And that's definitely what Logan Powers did. He used the chrome horn and got him out of his way. I don't think that 12 car is not going to like that too much.
Absolutely. Let's ride on board here with Kenny Powell as he tries to avoid the incident, but unfortunately could not for the ISCA machine, and tough break for Kenny Powell. I think it's safe to say his night is done for the ISCA machine as he does retire for the night, and we'll call it quits for him. Unfortunate for him tonight, but it's working out for Brandon Wilkinson. He's getting a couple of laps back. He's got 1 lap back, so he's now 11 laps down instead of 12 laps down.
There goes my pick, already in first. Let's see if he keeps it at lap 250.
Absolutely, and for those of you wondering where myself and Darby's picks are, Nicholas Vroman, he's in 25th right now, but he's been having a lot of great pace and speed, so keep an eye on that number 95 machine, that Ryco Performance and Hard Rock and Casino, Hotel and Casino machine. So far, everyone's trying to just get some good runs in here. We've been having a couple of good green flag runs and some great battling, I have to say, Joseph. I mean, we're seeing the multiple grooves of racing really come into play here. Outside lane, like we talked about, really good for keeping the momentum up to holding and defending a position. Inside lane, though, seems to be what a lot of drivers are trying to use to get themselves going, saving some of that fresh tires and being there in the long run.
Yeah, as we've seen a lot of people using that bottom lane trying to preserve the tires a little bit. We've seen Garrett and Conklin go up towards the top near the end of their run before they went into the pits. Maybe they saved enough tire to start trying to battle it out and try to get more speed out the top side.
Absolutely, and like I said, Garrett Maines is now going to be in the 15th position when we take the restart here tonight as Fred the pace car driver makes that hard left turn down onto pit road. Barney the Flagman has the Ryco Performance green flag in hand, and we're back at it once again, and Conklin just shot out of a cannon. Brigoli did not know what to do, was caught sleeping on the restart, and allows Brad Newman to get to his inside. Levine is on the outside right there as well, trying to keep up with the pace, as well as Gulata and Alex Murray as they work their way around. How about Miller Bonds as well, trying to make a run for a top 5 finish?
Alex Murray has made up 22 positions since the start of this race. Him and Justin have made up most of the positions during this race right now.
Absolutely, really great run. It's trouble for Brad Newman. He gets turned right here once again. Caution is out. He's going to collect several other cars. I believe Ed Shearer Jr. involved in this one.
Ah.
Oh, trouble indeed for Ed Shearer Jr., and he has got some significant damage to that number 1. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more action here on the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split, only on GridVision.
Oh, no.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split as we're back green flag racing here. And as they work their way around, Sean Conklin already checks out on the field. As Justin already moves up to P2 with Alex Murphy right there trying to battle with Paul Bergoli for third.
Justin Levine and Alex Murray have been moving through the field constantly, so they have gained on track position. Hopefully they can keep it up during the rest of the laps throughout this race.
Absolutely, we're keeping an eye on the action here as everyone's trying to work their way through around the circuit here. And already Brad Newman, he's about to be put a lap down once again by Sean Conklin. There you see Brad Newman right there on screen as he is the last car on the lead lap. But here comes the cavalry off of turn number 4 across the start-finish line. 87 laps on the board as they try to fight, slice, dice their way up to the front of the field. How about one driver? That's the 99 machine of Joseph Gulata moving up to P4 after getting around Alex Murray for the 4th spot. Patrick Gitter also making some big moves. He's sitting in 7th in that number 21. Dalton Collins, he's trying to hold off a hard-charging Garrett Maines, who's looking to the inside, back in the top 10 after his incident getting collected in the one of the previous cautions as he sits in P9 now, trying to hunt down. You're right on board with Garrett Maines as he looks to the outside, trying to get the big momentum on his side to go and get back to where he was, which was up towards the front of the field.
Maines is definitely working the field. He's making his way towards the front, wants his position back.
Absolutely.
He'll definitely be up there.
Absolutely. Let's go back up to the front of the field, though, because here comes Justin Levine and Paul Bergoli. They have caught to the back bumper of Sean Conklin and are really starting to challenge for the race lead here tonight as Levine looks to the inside, try to make him show the nose. Now thinking to go out, going to the top side, just going to stay tucked up behind Conklin for the time being. Maybe see if he could try and help Conklin break away from the rest of the field, get some breathing room as they work their way off into turn 1 and 2.
Oh, if I know Justin, he wants that first place spot, and he wants it now. So he's looking.
He's looking indeed. Alex Murray also looking to try to get 4th spot away from Gulata. Not going to work this time around as they go up to the top of the racetrack. Everyone just now diamonding the corners a little bit more right now compared to what we saw earlier. So we'll see how this plays out, how this will affect tire and handling for the time being. As so far, everyone's just trying to just log some laps. Now Levine goes to the top side. See if he can get a good run going. Bergoli right there just following in the tire tracks of the number 1.
Dustin is all over that back bumper of Conklin. He's about to do that chrome horn. He's about to use it.
He really is thinking about it. He's thinking when to make the right move as you ride on board with the number 1 machine. As he looks to the inside, thinks about it, not going to work this time. Stays tucked up behind your race leader, Sean Conklin, for the moment.
Alex Murray looking at the bottom of Joseph Gulata, still trying to get that position, get beside him, try to get that pass made.
How about Miller Bonds right there also in 6th position? He's also trying to get his run going. They have checked out from 7th on back. Maines is trying to get around Patrick Gitter for 7th so he can make a run for your top 6 right now. But so far, everyone's got themselves a little bit of breathing room from each other, except for right around here. This is where the chaos is really shown between Dalton Collins, James Hout, Joshua Watson, Richard Garcia, as well as also James Roy Milbachler. Which is confusing because both of them are running, him and Dalton Collins are running the same identical paint and numbers. So that's going to be fun for us tonight. Keeping an eye on the competition, we have also the Altus eSports machine right there in the mix. That is, I believe, James Wenzel, competitor in the eNASCAR qualifying series, Road to Pro Challenge, truck. As a couple of drivers kind of gathering back up. That was Milbachler, who was having a little bit of a run, as Dalton Collins tries to go around the outside of James Houghton for that 9th position. And he will clear him for the moment, and now tries to pull away as Joshua Watson gets moved up the racetrack really high. That's going to make him lose a ton of spots off turn 4. Keeping an eye here. Houghton finally is going to slide into place. Watson also slides into position as well. He'll slide into 13th in front of Corey Hines in the number 12 machine. I'm sorry, 61 machine for the moment in his Toyota, as they work their way around the circuit.
Maines has finally gotten around Patrick Gitter. I think Gitter just finally let him go, and Maines is now working his way towards the front.
He's less than a second away from Miller Bonds and closing in here and work his way around the circuit. Keeping an eye on the competition here, and he is closing. Last time by, he was 14.76 to a 14.8 to Miller Bonds, and he is faster than your race leader. So he is definitely marching his way up towards the front of the field, so watch out, because here comes Garrett Maines, one of the winningest drivers in NIS competition, defending NIS champion. So he is going to be one to watch as he is closing the gap right now.
Brad Newman goes a lap down. He is tore up.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there. As you see, the car, the splitter is kind of a little bit cockeyed a little bit, as you saw right there on screen. But Patrick Gitter is going to try to work his way up forward. Levine, though, starting to fall off just a tick from Sean Conklin, but he's got himself some breathing room from Paul Bergoli, Joseph Gulata, and the rest of the top 5 for the moment. And how about this? Garrett Maines, as we pick up the rest of the field there, you see in shot. He is coming in like a hungry dog, ready to come and get after these drivers ahead of him for the top 5.
And everybody's moved up to the high side. Nobody's caring about the tires anymore. It's all about, let's see how fast we can go.
Yeah, they've been on these set of tires for about 55 laps, so I think they're at that point where it's like, all right, it's time to go ahead and start using them up a little bit. We've been on the bottom long enough. Let's see how they handle up here on the top side of the racetrack, as Justin Levine and everybody goes up top side. As here comes Maine. He'll look to the inside of Miller Bonds, picks up one spot. Tries to slide up. Exactly, tries to slide up in front of Alex Murray. Couldn't make it work. He'll now try to go and build some momentum on the top side again and get a good rundown.
Easy.
I mean, that's an eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver for you and NIS champion. As he tries to find an opening around Alex Murray, crosses over to the inside. Could he get a 2-for-1 special? No. He gets around Murray, though, for position. Murray gives him a little bump. As now Maines tries to go around the outside. 3 wide off turn number 4. Murray loops it around.
Loose.
Can he save it? Murray, can he hold on? He does. But the caution comes out.
That was a big moment for Murray.
That was a scary moment. He was able to save it for the most part, but he drops back. All over some great racing action. 3 wide. Let's watch this. Maines really goes up to the top side. Gulata right there in the middle, and then then Alex Murray just loops it around, makes a little bit of contact to the back bumper of his number 22 Team Conti machine. Yep, right here is where the car starts to loop, right there.
And just fed too much gas into it, tried to stay beside him, and keep it 3 wide, and that was it. That was all she wrote.
And with that, that will give Brad Newman a lap back to where he will rejoin the race field as everybody comes down pit road. Nicholas Padovich, Edward Shear Jr. are also 1 or more laps down. Brandon Wilkinson, Kenny Powell, the only drivers who have taken it behind the wall. Nolan Hodgson has rejoined the track, but he is 39 laps down from your race leader, hoping to maybe see if he can pick up a couple of more spots here if chaos were to ensue later on, as Sean Conklin leads the field down towards pit road. So a lot of strategy coming into play here in this stage of the race as everyone makes their way down on pit road. Let's see who will win the race off.
Everybody's looking to get them 4 fresh feel goods.
They certainly are, as one driver thought about staying out. Nope, he decides to come out as Justin Levine is going to come out second, but it will be the driver of Sean Conklin who will win the race off pit road. Then it's Levine, Brigoli, Gulata, Miller Bonds, Patrick Gitter, Joshua Watson, James Houghton, Dalton Collins, and Richard Garcia, your top 10. Alan Pajara and Brad Newman have decided to come down pit road. I was going to be a little concerned if they decided to stay out on 50-some lap old tires. And for those of you wondering where Garrett Maines is now, he has fallen all the way back to 30th. So trying to fix a little bit of damage, so we're going to see him do it all over again.
I think he's doing it just for fun now.
I think so too. I mean, we're already closing in on half distance of tonight's race here in about a few laps' time.
Roman has made his way back to 14th. He's making his way back towards the front as well.
Absolutely, and we're going to see how he's going to do that here. Roman, he's sitting in 13th position. So, absolutely a great run for him. We're going to see what he's going to work his way through and see what he can do, absolutely like we saw at Phoenix. All right, the field is doubled back up, ready to go once again. Behind Fred, the pace car driver, it is Conklin, Levine, Bricoli, Gulata, Gitter, Bonds, Houghton, Watson, Garcia, and Milbachler, who will lead them to the green flag as Barney the Flagman. Everyone ready to go racing, and we're back at it. Conklin shot out of a cannon, ready to go, and he pulls away from the field.
Conklin has that preferred leader start, and he uses it to perfection.
Great jump on the field as they work their way around the circuit. As we keep an eye on the competition here as a couple of drivers trying to negotiate through. As we watch on Pergoli as well as Gulata and Levine really starting to pressure each other for that second spot. As Conklin's starting to pull away as one driver has a little bit of issue further back. Miguel Bento falls back quite a ways as well as several others. Cody James Wenzel had some issues as one driver hits the inside wall. That, I believe, is Jose Acosta. As we're under caution once again, past the halfway point of tonight's racing action. As we'll see what the situation is. We're going to start with Bento. As right there, him and James Wenzel made contact, and it caused a big checkup, which then caused the 26 of Jose Acosta right there, who goes up the racetrack, collects James Wenzel.
Looks like that car is creating a little bit of neck cone around him.
Seems to be the case here. Field now lined up behind, once again under caution. And Fred, the pace car driver, a couple of cars in the back half of the field come down pit road, including some of the drivers who were involved in previous incidences. But for the most part, everyone up inside the top 15 have decided to stay out for the moment. Great racing action already, though. We're happy to have you with us here on GridVision. Of course, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by none other than Ryco Performance. At Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We are a performance provider preparing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve on the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or just one of the drivers who competes in some of the regular official races, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge. Why choose Ryco? Ryco has expert craftsmanship by a team of seasoned builders, cutting-edge performance enhancements tailored to your vehicle, unrivaled coaching and reliability to handle the most demanding circuits on the iRacing platform. For more information, visit us at rycomotorsports.gg, where we build champions and deliver results. And there you see two Ryco drivers right there. Sean Conklin with a Ryco Performance, and of course, Justin Levine, another driver who races with Ryco Performance as well. Joseph Gullotta a little further back right there in the picture with another team, and then Paul Bergoli in for Patrick Gitter. So it's good to see the all-around different teams represented with different setup shops for the most part. We have two Rycos, we have a couple of Team Contis as well. So it's interesting to see how the performance handles from week to week. But so far, it's been a Ryco Performance dominant season for the most part, I have to say, Joseph.
Yeah, so they're usually up front, and it's hard to get past these Ryco cars. They are usually very dominant, and you always want to try to beat these guys, but it's very hard to.
Absolutely, as they are doubled back up, lined up, ready to go once again. As we are going back, racing 130 laps on the board. As Fred the pace car driver is about to make the hard left turn onto pit road. You're right on board with Sean Conklin as he will check out once again, shot out of a cannon, and take over the race lead once again as Justin Levine slides into second place on the bottom of the racetrack. And then it's going to be Joseph Gullotta as Bergoli struggled on the outside lane that time on the restart. Keeping an eye on the competition here as you ride on board with Joseph Gullotta as he tries to hold on to that third spot with Bergoli right there in the mix. Here comes a big run by Miller Bonds on the outside of Patrick Gitter with Joshua Watson right there behind.
Miller Bonds is trying to get that position away from Patrick Gitter, and I think he's going to do it.
He really is going to try his best. Here comes Joshua Watson around Patrick Gitter as well, as these drivers are now 2 by 2 all the way back outside the top 10 for the moment as we ride on board with Watson as he gets a great run off turn number 4 and will try to get ahead of Gitter as here comes James Houghton with a head of steam. Trouble possibly for a little further back. Nope, but we're going to go 3 wide between mains, the 64 and the 74. 3 wide still through the middle of turn 3 and 4. It's Maines, Davis, and Scott Healy. Hold on, boys. Can you make it through another corner? As the 74 machine goes right up to the top, trying to build some momentum. That's Chris Davis on the outside. Getting a little bit dicey.
I know Scott Healy personally. He is not going to give in to Garrett Mays. So he is going to make Garrett Mays work for that.
Garrett Mays trying to clear them right now. He almost does. He's going to have to pull a slide job. Does it. Clears the 2 of them and now tries to pull away once again as he sits in 15.
Alex Murray's trying to follow Garrett Mays through this whole field, trying to go back towards the front. Let's see if he can keep up with him.
He's going to try. He got around one driver here, and he's going to work his way through. He got by the 64 of Scott Healy. Now tries to set his sights on the 74 of Chris Davis. As we see Matt DiCiani trying to hold off a hard charger right now of Garrett Mays. As here comes Murray to the inside of Chris Davis.
Ooh! He just got loose. Someone just got loose.
Might have been one driver a little further back as DiCiani now falls all the way back quite a ways, actually, to 19th.
Patrick Gitter as well, he's been falling back as well, but he choosing to wrap the bottom. So I think he's trying to preserve for the long haul.
He's trying his best to preserve for the long haul, but it's going to be a lot of work for him right now as we see Murray and Collins trying to work their way through. As really a big run by Dalton Collins and Brad Newman, who are trying to have a good run as, one driver gets the chrome horn. Will he save it? That was Rob Carl. Gathered it back up, but he will lose all the way back to 32nd. And Sean Conklin's coming off of turn number 4 now, so we could see him getting ready to be put a lap down once again in a moment's notice. Let's take a look at the replay as we saw the chrome horn being utilized once again here at Bristol.
Yeah, Jose Acosta just used it on Rob. He told him, get out the way. I need to go.
He certainly did, but no major incident. We are still green flag racing here tonight as we are approaching 100 laps to go in tonight's action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Across the line, 148 on the board as they work their way off turn number 2. Justin Levine, he's looking to the inside, wanting to see if he can go and challenge for the race lead here as they come out of across the start finish line, closing in on Tanner Love to put him a lap down for the first time here tonight for the Legacy Esports driver. Love will get out of the way and give way to the race leaders as he tries to stay out of harm's way. No issue. And the next car to be put a lap down is Nolan Hodgson's in the number 12 Ford Mustang. Let's see what he does. As he's going to stay high, let the leaders pass him on the bottom of the racetrack. He does have a little bit of damage to that number 12 after some previous incidences, as he is letting the leaders by. No issues. Everyone's keeping it clean. Watson will dive down to the bottom of the racetrack, as it's going to be close battling here to see how this will play out. Lap traffic, Broman will follow James Houghton as well as they go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Good run so far for your competitors, as Broman will get in front and have to hold off James Milbachler in the 61 machine right there in the mix. Corey Hines right behind him. They're going to go 3 wide almost as Garrett Maines tries to follow suit around Josh Harbin, Corey Hines, along with the 57 of Richard Garcia. Now we're getting into a little bit of a rhythm now here. Drivers trying to negotiate around. We've been running for about 34 laps on this set of tires. Drivers now thinking about staying up towards the high side, feeling comfortable enough that their tires are at an optimum peak for them to run that top side for the moment. As Bill Bochler and Corey Hines battle for the 9th spot as they come through the middle of turn 3 and 4. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have more racing action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 100 laps to go. You're watching it all live on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You saw it. You saw it on side by side here for the Friday Night Top Split, presented by Ryco Performance. Let's take a look at once again at the replay for what caused the caution. And Justin Levine, there you saw him briefly, and now we're going to see the 95 machine coming around the circuit. He is trying to hold off trying to get around the hard charger of Joshua Watson. And as they work their way through,
It was just Harbin.
right about here, Harbin. Take a look at Alex Murray.
Yep.
That's where we'll have to probably look at Alex Murray in the number 22 machine. Probably that. We'll get it all situated here as we are about to go back racing momentarily. Yeah, Josh Harbin and Alex Murray did get together briefly during this situation. As we are back racing here at Bristol, as we'll go back live for the action. Apologies on that situation. But it is, once again, Garrett Maines out in front after making a two-tire stop. Joseph, is that the right call? I mean, we are talking about someone who knows how to get around this track at Bristol, but still a two-tire stop is a touchy gain to where it could possibly be a detriment for him later in the run.
We'll see if it works out. It depends on how long you pit it in between getting, 4 tires to 2 tires.
Well, caution is out once again for Miguel Bento and several other drivers. Tanner Love also. As Tanner Love is saying wow. Everyone's saying wow over the radio.
Big Miguel Bento took a ride.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay by Miguel Bento as he was 3 wide with several other competitors. And right there, he makes contact with the 45 and hard contact. He collects the 2, the 27 of Alan Pajara.
Yeah, Miguel Bento is done.
Yeah.
He is not coming back.
You're getting a good look at the new damage model. That's all I can say here tonight at Bristol. Would you have to agree, Joseph?
Yeah, the new damage model is... They've been really trying to improve it in iRacing. And we're seeing it there. You might not like it too much because you... there's the accident from previous caution.
That is a big issue right there by Alex Murray, as he will get looped around after the contact right there from the driver of Josh Harbin in the 95 throwback to the Wrangler car, as he will rejoin the track. But it is still Garrett Maines who takes over the race lead once again after a bold strategy 2-tire call. And if it does it like this, not a bad idea. Just make sure you get the restart and you're pretty much in set and smooth sailing.
See, now that he's done 2 tires now, let's see if we get a run here and see if we have to pit again and see if the competition does it right back to him.
Absolutely there, Joseph. As we watch the field, we should be getting the 1-to-go signal next time by for our drivers. Give you a quick rundown of your top 10. It's Garrett Maines, Sean Conklin, Justin Levine, Joseph Gulata, Miller Bonds, Joshua Watson, Paul Bragoli, Nicholas Vroman, Corey Hines, James Houghton, your top 10. Then it's James Roy Milbachler, Matt DiCiani, Josh Harbin, Logan Powers, Patrick Gitter, Dalton Collins, Scott Healy, Brad Newman, Nicholas Patovich, Jose Acosta, and Alex Murray. James Wenzel, Bruno Milo, Richard Garcia, Maggie McGuire, Tanner Love, Rob Carlisle, Alan Pajara, Junsa Lim, and Chris Davis are your top 30, and the only cars on the lead lap. Edward Shear Jr., Miguel Bento are 3 and 4 laps down. Nolan Hodgkins, Brandon Wilkinson, Kenny Powell are out of tonight's racing action. So 32 cars left in the race as we get set to go back green flag racing here one more time, hopefully, as Fred the pace car driver leads them around once again. As Barney the Flagman will have the Ryco Performance green flag in hand as we go set to go racing here at Bristol. Of course, this is the last time we'll be seeing drivers just only going left here on GridVision. Next week, we see them going right and left as they head to Circuit of the Americas all next week on all of GridVision's broadcasts. You'll see it all throughout the week, starting on Monday as Fred makes the hard left turn down to the pit road. Garrett Maines is in control. Backs up the field a little bit, but gets a great jump on the field for the moment as he pulls out ahead of the competition. Sean Conklin and Justin Levine battle it out for the second spot as here comes Joseph Gulata around the outside with Watson and Miller Bonds 2 by 2 as they come out of 4.
Justin Levine's getting stuck there towards the bottom. Joseph Gulata is going to jump all over and try to gain some spots, and Justin slides up in front of Joshua Watson right there.
How about Corey Hines as well, making his run up towards the front of the field. He's looking down on the inside of Miller Bonds for 6th spot, with Paul Bragoli following in hot pursuit as everyone tries to jockey around for position. They got some fresh tires. They want to start to put them to use here in this run.
And Doug Collins trying to route the bottom there, trying to gain some position.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in the 14th spot in that number 95 Champions machine as he tries to get the run going, but so far stuck right there in the middle for the moment. It's trouble for one car. That's Harbin who gets turned around in front of the field, but it goes down to the bottom of the racetrack as we're under caution once again.
Did Harbin get a little help there, or did he do that on his own?
I think he got a little bit of help right there from Brad Newman. So it looks like Harbin's got some significant damage to the nose of that number 95 as he makes hard contact to the inside wall.
Yeah, it looks like Newman was just a little bit down in the, it's like, and he has the right to be there, and Harbin just went up and door checked him.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact, but it was enough to send him around, and unfortunately, that's going to be a crumpled up nose to that Chevrolet Camaro for the most part. This will give Edward Shear Jr. one of his laps back, so he will now be 2 laps down instead of 3, as he will get the lucky dog. Of course, for those of you tuning in here on GridVision tonight for the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split, if your league or series is interested in partnering with us here on GridVision, we do have opening slots on several different nights. If you are interested, reach out to us on GridVision, and we will gladly sit down and negotiate a situation where we can get you your league out here on GridVision as we look forward to some more great racing action all throughout the week. As Josh Harbin takes it behind the wall, as his night is probably done for the most part. He's going to try to see if he can get it fixed. He hasn't officially disconnected, but he's got a lot of work to do. Well, Joseph, so far, it's been a pretty eventful night so far on the Friday Night Top Split at Bristol. We've seen a lot of comers and goers, a lot of drivers who have had issues that have fought their way up to the field. A couple of drivers who have just remained in a constant position of just consistency. So what are some of the drivers you've been surprised about tonight?
Um, been surprised with Levine. He's made up quite a few number of spots. He came from way back. And Joshua Watson, 22 spots made. Both of them have come from way back in the back. And they're up here, and they want some of the piece of that pie.
They certainly do, and they're really going to try to get as much as they can before this all said and done. As we keep an eye on the action here tonight, a lot of great racing still to come. We're closing in on the 200 lap mark, so still quite a bit of lap racing left to go here as we watch on.
So it's getting down to the nitty gritty, man. The business is starting to pick up.
It is 66 laps to go left of the race coming. When we take the green flag, it'll be about 65, maybe 64 laps for our leaders here tonight. And that will go by very quick as our ATVO timing is showing about 16 minutes. So, Joseph, I don't know about you, but can you make a whole lot of passes in 16 minutes, really?
If you're towards the back. Just depends on how many people are wrecking.
Absolutely. We'll see how that. Hopefully, we have no more wrecks. Hopefully, we can make it to the green flag and checkered flag here. And Garrett Maines, well, he's gone off again here. And Sean Crawford will drop back into that second position. Levine, as well as Joseph Gulata, will battle it for third as they work their way down the back straightaway, heading off into turn 3 and 4. As we might almost go 3 wide off turn 4. Not quite yet. Gulata, Bonds, and Watson are looking to battle for the 4th position.
Nobody wants to give now. It's going to be all take now. Everybody's jockeying for this position to try to go forward.
Everyone really trying to get themselves situated for a run here for the moment as they work their way around the circuit. And it's some really great racing action here tonight in the closing stages. Watching on as they work their way through. You're watching Watson and James Roy, Mill Bachler, and Corey Hines battling for position. As we have a battle for the race lead, Conklin, he's looking to the inside, tries to show them nose, not quite close enough to make a pass on Garrett Maines.
Yeah, Conklin trying to use those 4 tires against Maines, trying to make those 4 tires work, trying to get this pass made.
And we ride on board with Sean Conklin as he tries to get the run going on the outside lane, but now tries to show the nose. Levine is closing in right there as well as the top 3 start to break away from the field.
Levine is sitting there looking at his child's hope, and Conklin and Maines do something to mess each other up.
He is certainly in the catbird speed along with Joseph Gulata and Miller Bonds as they come across the line here. 190 laps completed. And here comes Conklin to the inside of Maines. Maines side by side for the race lead here as they come through the middle of turn 3 and 4. Conklin holds the inside. Maines tries to power his way through on the outside lane. So far, great racing action here tonight as they come through the middle of 1 and 2.
Conklin is trying to wrap that bottom. You just don't have enough. Those 2 tires are starting to show. Those 4 tires will eventually win out here in a little while.
It certainly seems to be the case here as they work their way around the circuit and keeping an eye on the competition. So far, some great racing action. Now it's a little bit died off just a tick. Your top 3 separated now by about a car length apiece now, as they are trying to get themselves separated from the rest of the field. As we watch Nicholas Vroman now working to the back bumper right now. Matt DiCiani, of course, DiCiani had some troubles early in the race, and he's now back inside for a top 10 run. Top 3 now still working on as we watch a little further back. That's, of course, the Alex Murray machine and Andrew, or of course also Garcia, Patrick Gitter, Logan Powers, Jose Acosta, James Wenzel, Brad Newman, Richard Garcia, and then throw in Rob Carlisle, who's had a lot of issues tonight, but he's still in the fight for a chance of a top 20. Joseph, we've seen a good battle here right now between James Wenzel and Richard Garcia. Garcia's trying to get that outside lane going for the moment. It seems like he's getting held up just a tick by Brad Newman.
Yes, Brad Newman's one very tough customer to pass. That's not a very easy pass to make with Brad Newman around.
Absolutely. We got to go up to the race lead, though, because Sean Conklin has caught and tried to make a pass on Garrett Maines. Maines still holds on, but here comes Conklin with those fresh set of tires as they come off of turn 4. He is hungry to try to take that race lead away.
Yeah, they're both using the outside here. Conklin's getting tight. Woo! He about got touched Garrett Maines there.
He certainly did, and he is hungry. He wants to try to get that race lead away from the leader and try to take over. 201 laps, 49 laps left to go in the race as they come down the back straightaway, heading off into turns 3 and 4. Conklin thinks about it, tries to diamond it almost briefly, but still not enough to make anything work.
Conklin trying to get that run off the top and then try to drive it downward, trying to get that run so he can get side by side with Garrett Maines here.
He's doing his best he can, but Maines is just being so dominant on that outside lane with the 2 tires holding strong. And it's just really working out. He's actually got a little bit of breathing room now from Conklin. Now the question is going to be, Joseph, can Conklin not overheat those tires in order to try to pass Garrett Maines? Because now here comes Justin Levine with a big run as well, as he tries to get the run going.
I believe Justin's been sitting back and letting Conklin and Garrett battle it out, and he's just waiting.
Joseph Gulata, also another driver, along with Miller Bonds in the catbird spots. They're sitting 4th and 5th, and they're really just thinking about what they can do if an opportunity allows itself. Gulata is in a little bit of a better spot than Miller Bonds. Corey Hines also in the mix with Watson a little further back as they work their way around the circuit. Levine gets a great run off turn number 4. Will he think about going to the bottom? No, he's going to stay tucked up behind. Can report Miguel Bento has taken it behind the wall. His night is done as we watch these drivers battle it out for position for the top spot here. Under 50 laps left to go in the race, and it's a great fight for the lead here. You have at least 4 drivers in contention for the win, maybe even 6 if you throw in Miller Bonds and Corey Hines, who are just out of camera shot as they come off of turn number 4. There, you see them right there as they head off into 1.
Can't count them out. Whoever's saving will make their way towards the front here in a little while if we keep it green.
Absolutely, and here comes Joseph Gulata. He's getting a big run, and he's running some very fast lap times right now instead of our 2nd and 3rd place driver. He ran a 14.86 compared to Conklin and Levine, who ran 14.9. So they are really showcasing some speed here.
It's just surprising. Garrett Maines still running 8.6s.
Levine gets around almost Conklin for 2nd. Couldn't quite complete it. But he is trying his best, but he's got to watch out because here comes Gulata with a big run. He shuts the door in front of him.
Gulata's going to go towards the bottom, see if he can try to do the same thing that Levine did to Conklin, but it ain't going to work out.
Will do. We're going to keep an eye on this battle because here comes Hines along with Bonds. Those 2 drivers are starting to close the gap as well as we finally dip down to the 15-second bracket for your leaders. We've been running on 50-lap old tires for the moment, and it's going to get even more exciting because here comes Levine. He gets a little bit doored right there. This opens the door for Gulata to get around the inside for 3rd.
Levine got a little bit tight beside Conklin, trying to get up beside him, but it did not work. And Gulata got loose.
Gulata did get loose indeed, as trouble for Scott Healy as he is off the track. As he will continue on racing here tonight, but still some great racing action as Garrett Maines has checked out from the field as he stretched out to about a 2nd lead from Sean Conklin and Justin Levine, who are still battling for that 2nd spot. Levine trying to power his way on the outside. Car's a little bit too tight for him right now there, Joseph.
Yes, it is. And freaking Garrett Maines is loving every minute of it, watching them battle.
He is checked out as they're going to go 3 wide behind Gulata between Hines, Bonds, and Vroman. As Vroman tries to go to the inside of Bonds, and Hines gets that position away. as they work their way down the back straightaway, heading into turn 3 and 4. Hines just trying everything he can as he now tries to hunt down Gulata.
I think Levine's getting ready to use that chrome.
Oh, a little bit loose right there. But Gulata's really just putting the pressure on Justin, but you're right there, Joseph. Justin Levine is thought about putting the chrome horn Sean Conklin. Coming in closer to 25 laps to go. We're sitting at 30 laps to go for your race leader. And Garrett Maines has caught some lap traffic. He's about to put the 27 machine a lap down once again. So we'll see how that plays out for your competitors here as they work their way around the circuit. He does put a driver a lap down. That's the 27 a lap down. That was Alan Pajara going 1 lap down, so he's still got a little bit of time before he catches up to Tanner Love, who's about 3 seconds up the road from him. But Sean Conklin and Justin Levine, they have a little bit of breathing room. But how about this? Roman into the top 5.
I was about to say the same thing. Roman has finally made his entrance back up towards the front.
He is trying really hard to get around to the inside of Gulata and tries to get it going, but can't make it work just yet. Thought about it, sends it in, tries to see if he can clear Gulata off turn 4, but can't quite do it. Dalton Collins, also another driver who's been on the move. He's up to P6.
Both these champion cars, yeah, I'm getting kind of confused on which one too.
Exactly. I was like, which one is it? Is it Colin or Hines? Hines or Collins? We know it's Collins now ahead of Hines, as they are in identical cars, identical numbers. You're gonna have to reach out to them and be like, hey, can you guys at least change your numbers? So we watch on here as Roman's trying to clear Gulata. He does clear Gulata, but now he's trying to go after Levine as they're 2 by 2. And this allows Sean Conklin to check out on the field as Vroman will clear Levine off turn 4, move him up to P3.
Roman's coming. He's been saving, and he's coming. He wants to go towards the front.
Oh, he is really saving. How about this? Watch this. He's already going to try to make a move right now off of turn number 4 and just inches clears Conklin off there.
Dalton Collins is following him.
Yes, he is. He's trying to move up into the top spot here. He gets around Justin for 4th as the caution comes out. Richard Garcia having some trouble out there on the track by the looks of it.
Garrett Maines did not want this. he was checked out.
He was just absolutely set. We're 20 laps left to go in the race. Let's take a look at the replay for Richard Garcia. And just gets into the back of the 61 machine. And loops it around.
Carried too much speed going into the corner. Ran into the back of him.
Yeah, he got into the back of James Roy Millbuckler. That was a battle for 17th at the moment. Now the big question. Do you come and pit for tires, Joseph?
I think you're going to have to. If you don't, someone behind you is gonna come in. And the big question is 2 or 4.
That is going to be the big question. 2 tires or 4 tires. The thing is, though, I have to say, Joseph, is as Vroman... both Maines, Vroman, and Collins stay out. Conklin, Levine, and everybody else stay on to coming down to pit road. If you're looking at this is going to be one word I have to say, Joseph. Chaos that is about to ensue here tonight.
Everybody pitted behind Collins. Everyone's going to have fresh tires. They're going to be on attack.
Exactly, because you're looking at us going back green flag racing with under 20 laps to go. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, if you're about to watch some amazing racing action here tonight,
Conklin with the 2-tire fire.
And
And everybody
Bergoli
in
took
front of Levine took 2.
Yeah, Bergoli took 2, Houghton took 2, Miller Bonds took 2, Justin Levine, the first car to take 4 tires. Looking, actually, Bergoli took 4 tires by the looks of it as well. So, as Bergoli will go to the tail end of the field as he has got caught speeding. So, tough break for Paul Bergoli, but he's going to have some work to do to get through the front of the field. But this is going to be an exciting. Maines, Vroman, Collins, all out there on the track with 70-lap-old tires. Sean Conklin, James Houghton, Miller Bonds are on 70-lap-old right side tires. Or actually, left side tires.
Left side tires.
Yeah, left side tires. And they went right, didn't change their right side. We have major problems. And then everyone else had 4 tires. As checking on a couple of things. Okay, nope, everything's good right so far.
And watch this restart. Sean gets past Collins real quick. He's gonna try to make it quick work of these two.
This is gonna get exciting here. Question is, how quickly can Conklin get around your top 3? How quickly can Houghton and Miller Bonds hold off the 4 tires of Levine and everyone else behind? Fred, the pace car driver, is making that hard left turn. He knows there's trouble about to be a brewing. We are now closing in on less than 15 laps to go, and there's a big shove from Conklin. Garrett Maines checks out. It's chaos further back, 3 wide for the action for the race lead as they try to jockey for position. Conklin gives a big shove to Vroman as here comes Collins to the inside. They're side by side, 2 by 2. Cars around at the end of the back of the field. Newman and a couple of others. I believe Scott Healy is one of them. As Maine and Vroman will hold on. A couple of other cars get involved and collected in this one. As there's checking up, trying to catch up to the pace car. That's going to cause some issues. I got to say, though, when the caution comes out and the pace car, just keep at speed. The pace car will catch up to you guys. As that was a tough break there. You saw Newman, Healy, collected the 18 of Tanner Love.
Some of these guys not holding their brakes.
No, absolutely not. Right there is the first contact. And then it's 4 wide and then
a little bit net code.
Paul Bergoli getting collected in that one. He was one of the ones we were going to watch work his way up to the field as Vroman comes down pit road for tires. Well, I will say Garrett Maines is in the preferred line because that lane he has with him leading and controlling the restart gives him the opportunity to kind of get away from the field. The problem is, here comes Dalton Collins, James Houghton, Sean Conklin. This is going to be exciting.
And Garrett Maines waited a long time for that restart to start. He was trying to make them guess.
Goodness gracious. This is exciting. We're coming out at 10 laps left to go in the race. Under 10 when they take the green flag.
Not much to go. They want it all.
They certainly do want it all, and this is going to get exciting to watch here as we should get the 1 to go signal as we ride on board with one driver. There's Dalton Collins.
Lights aren't out yet.
Nope, lights are not out on the pace car as we get some of the looks of some of the in-car drivers. Looking all focused and some very colorful racing suits and helmets, I have to say. Yeah, we got a Ferrari helmet in one of these cars. Interesting choice, I have to say. now it looks like we might be doubled up, ready to go.
Nope. Lights out on the pace car. We're gonna get this show on the road.
Show on the road indeed here tonight. As we're going to go back racing with 8 laps left to go in tonight's racing action. Can Garrett Maines hold on for 8 laps? Well, Dalton Collins, he was talking to me earlier this week. He is ready to take home a win here at Bristol. Can Justin Levine get one here for the GridVision team here tonight? As the green flag is out, James Houghton shot out of 10. Dalton Collins caught sleeping. A big checkup throughout the rest of the field further on back as Garrett Maines pulls away. Conklin moves up to P3 as everyone jockeys around for position.
Conklin's gonna be looking towards the bottom of Garrett Maines. He's gonna try to make this quick work.
There's problems further back as cars are wrecking around the track. Miller Bonds is around. Big pile up in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Paul Bragoli, Dalton Collins, and several other drivers.
Oh, that sucks for Collins. He was having a great run.
He was having a big fight for position with the driver of Miller Bonds. They take out multiple different cars. We're trying to get an on board with a couple of other drivers, Justin Levine and Miller Bonds. Tanner Lowe involved.
Apparently, Justin Levine had a great view to this little incident.
Oh my!
That's about as close as you could get.
That is about as exactly close you can get. A pure moment of just pucker up and hold on for dear life. But Garrett Maines was saved by that caution because James Houghton was about to pass him for position, I will say.
James Houghton had him. It was over. This gives Conklin another chance.
I will say we could go into a natural green-white checkered before this is all said and done, as Maggie McGuire about to be put a lap down. Nicholas Broman is already 1 lap down. Edward Shear Jr., Nicholas Patovich also is multiple laps down. As Scott Healy and Brad Newman are out of the race. 29 cars still on the racetrack. 26 still on the lead lap.
Wonder exactly what happened to Robin. Robin went a lap down. He's a lap down now with Edward Shear.
Well, he did come down pit road last time by, on the last caution. I'm wondering if he stayed on pit road a little too long, is the question.
Or he may have had that issue again, like he had at the start.
Possibility. But with this could shake up the points a little bit, I have to say, though, Joseph, because with Vroman outside the top 20, sitting in 27th, a lap down, Garrett Maines looking to take home the checkered flag here tonight. This could switch the top 2 pretty much.
Yeah, Roman can make, or not Roman, but Garrett Maines can make quite a few points ground on him here this race.
Absolutely, as lights are off on the pace car. This will allow Maggie McGuire to get back on the lead lap at the tail end of the line. And Garrett Maines and James Houghton, well, we're about to see them battle it out once again. It's Maines, Houghton, Conklin, Hines, Gulata, Murray, Gitter, and Levine, Watson, and DeCiani. Your top 10.
I like the position Conklin's at.
This is really good fight here, as it's going to be a natural green-white checkered. Thing is, can they make it without getting a caution before this is all said and done? I know some drivers are going to be feisty to try to get up to the front of the field. They got to at least make it to the white flag. Fred makes the hard left turn down to the pit road. Barney the flagman has the green flag, and he checks out. Garrett Maines is gone, shot out of a cannon. as James Houghton and Sean Conklin battle for second. Here comes Alex Murray with a head of steam for the 5th spot. He's looking for a top 5, as here comes Conklin out of turn number 4. White flag in the air. One more time around here at Bristol. Conklin looks to the inside. Maines tries to hold the outside lane, but Conklin will go down to the inside. Side by side, battle for the race lead. Conklin pushes Maines up the track. Houghton will follow suit, but as they come across the start-finish line, Conklin gets the win here at Bristol. How about that? And how about that, Joseph? You get yourself a point in the commentator standings with the Conklin getting the win for you tonight.
First time luck.
Absolutely. A great drive for Sean Conklin as he gets the Ryco Performance winning moment and strategy call, taking the 2 tires when your race leader, Garrett Maines, originally decided to stay on the track, as he will burn it down in the Ryco Performance sim seat and Gossett Ford Mustang.
Well deserved. He waited for the right time to make his move.
He really did, and he made it in an extraordinary fashion. Sean Conklin picks up the win here at Bristol Motor Speedway as he burns it down here tonight. As we watch the action here, and we will look forward to see how this will all play out. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll give you your full field rundown, as well as interview some of your top drivers who come home with the win here tonight. And with that, welcome back to Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Sean Conklin and Garrett Maines, your top 2, with James Houghton, Corey Hines, Joseph Gulata, Alex Murray, Patrick Gitter, Justin Levine, Joshua Watson, and Matt DiCiani, your top 10. James Wenzel, Bruno Milo, Richard Garcia, Logan Powers, Jose Acosta, Miller Bonds, Tanner Love, Paul Bragoli, Alan Pajara, and Junsa Lim coming back from a good run. You're rounding out your top 20. James Milbachler, Chris Davis, Maggie McGuire, Dalton Collins, Ed Shearer Jr., Nicholas Vroman, Rob Carlisle, Nicholas Patovich, Josh Harbin, Scott Healy, Brad Newman, Miguel Bento, Noah Hodgkins, and Brandon Wilkinson round out your 34-car field here tonight. And with that, we're going to get a chance to talk to your top 3 finishers here tonight. And we're going to start with the driver who came home in 3rd, Mr. James Houghton, joins us up here in the booth, and he is with Joseph Kazi.
James Houghton, just Kazi in the booth. You got us?
You bet.
Man, you definitely made up a lot of ground. Tell me about your race. How'd you make your way back up towards the front whenever I seen you slip back during the beginning of the race?
Yeah, I got moved a little bit early on, which is fine. It's short track racing. And then sometimes on those restarts, it is just tough to keep on kind of moving your way forward there. But we had that long run, and I'm normally terrible at saving my tires, but somehow I was automatically saving my tires. So we got that long run and we got a few, and then, it's tough at the end when it's 15 to go to decide if you're going to pit or not. But I always like to be moving forward rather than defending. And then, so I think we restarted 5th there with just Sean and I 4th and 5th. And then top 3 were on old tires. And then like a bit of a melee on that last one there, and we got ahead of Sean, and I liked my chances at that point. And then Sean put a lot of trust into me on that very final restart there, because I had to lift for him to clear, and I was deciding whether I wanted to kill my teammate or, you know, lose or, you know, or try to still maintain a top 3 finish. And I decided not to wreck the top 20 cars there at the end. But Sean owes me one now, so we'll see how it goes next week.
Send him an IOU.
I told him. I was very clear in Discord when that race is over. Sean, you owe me one. Not a partial one, not a quarter of one. You owe me a full one, whatever one is.
Was there anything else you could have done on that restart?
I don't know. I was really afraid that Garrett was going to spin his tires, and I didn't want to black. I've been away a little bit racing the last couple of weeks. And I've had some bad races, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to get a black here. And I figured I'd probably be able to kind of get him anyways. But Sean is quick, and he is not afraid. So I knew that he was going to sail it underneath, and I thought I would be able to hold him off. But regardless, it was going to be a tricky situation there with only 2 laps to go. So there wasn't much time to make a decision. But I think it would have been Garrett's race to win if I wouldn't have lifted for him to slide up there.
Yes, sir. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Ryco Performance, of course. I came on iRacing in 2020, and I was only doing fixed racing, and I came to Ryco in 2021, and it's been awesome. I've ran, I don't know, well over 1,000 races then, and then learned so much, and won a lot of races, and look forward to doing that for a few more years.
Alrighty, guys. There was James Houghton. Came home P3. He well deserved.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely a great run. Let's now move up and talk to Garrett Maines, who came home in 2nd place. Garrett, a good run for you overall, I have to say, but I got to talk a little bit about the strategy call. Was that the right one for you felt like, to be able to come home and stay out on the track when everybody else came down pit road?
Absolutely not. I don't know why the heck I was listening to my competition on that one. But no, that is, I mean, we made the most of it there at the end. I felt like somebody else could have very well done what I did, and that was my fear. I mean, literally, if James hadn't let Sean up, that race was over. I looked in the mirror and saw a double file. I was like, oh, we got this. But once I saw he broke free, I mean, I was so slow. There was nothing I could do. But, I mean, overall, my mindset changed on that final restart, because all I needed was to finish. I didn't need to to win the race. I just needed to outscore Roman, and that's what I did. So I'll take the result that we got, and we'll live to see another day.
Absolutely. Get ready for Circuit of the Americas next week, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Circuit of the Americas would be a fun course, but I will not be able to run it because I'll actually be out of town. So that's the other thing, is I didn't want to put myself in a hole, because there's a bunch of the road courses I will actually be missing. So, I don't really get many drops, and didn't want to have one tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you go and give your thanks to your driver or people you need to say thank you to, and let you go on
absolutely.
your way.
Gotta give a huge shout out to MCU Body, Linux, the guys at Ryco Performance for all the hard work on the car. We had a rocket tonight. Really thought we were gonna bring it home, but that caution at the end kind of screwed us. But also a big thank you to Leftport Brothers and FGR Excel for their support.
Absolutely. That's Garrett Maines coming home in 2nd place, as we are now joined by our race winner tonight, driver of that number 54 Ryco Performance Sim Seat and Gossett Ford Mustang, Mr. Sean Conklin. Sean, I mean, you pulled off a brilliant strategy to come home with the race win. 2-tire stop when everybody else, except for a couple of others, decided to take 4 tires.
Yeah, that was scary, honestly. I didn't think that was going to work. Because usually, tires don't really, with 2 to go, the tire advantage isn't really that big because you can't get up to speed. But I don't know, in this race, we had a second of fall off right there before that caution, and I guess that's just what did it, and those tires were cooked. So I saw the 2 in front of me stay out, so I wanted to go on a different strategy, because if they went in, I was going to stay out. So glad they stayed out and we went in, and yeah, that was very wild restarts there.
Absolutely, and of course, we head off to Circuit of the Americas next week. How confident do you feel heading a little bit right and left turn racing?
We're usually good on road courses. I've already got a little bit of practice in. we're gonna actually keep on practicing tomorrow and try to learn that place a little bit more. So hopefully we can be strong there next week and carry this momentum on.
Well, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, big shout out to Ryco, obviously. I mean, this set is blazing fast. And I also want to give a shout out to someone that wasn't here tonight, Mr. Jacob Schneider, who put in, I don't know, probably about 1,000 laps on this setup, perfecting it so we can come out here and win these races. So I don't know if he's watching or not, but if he is, then shout out to him. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, that is your race winner, Sean Conklin, who takes home the checker flag. As we come to a close here tonight, though, Joseph, I mean, give us some final thoughts. This is your first time joining us here on the GridVision broadcast, and let's close it off for the night.
Ah, man, I had fun. It was a fun race to watch. As you see, Conklin got it done. I chose him right off the rip. I figured he'd be aggressive, and he was aggressive there at the end. Make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you all tuning in here on GridVision's coverage of the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split. And we will be back on Monday night to bring you more action as we head to Circuit of the Americas all next week on GridVision. From the Monday Night Top Split to the Champions Power Equipment Truck Series to the Thunderclap iRacing Series presented by TLC. And then back at it again here with Friday Night Top Split presented by Ryco Performance. We can't thank them enough for coming on board for the 2024 NASCAR iRacing seasons. We look forward to continuing work with them as this rest of 2024 goes on. But for Joseph Kazi and our producer Austin Derbyshire and the entire GridVision team, I'm Taylor Verse. Thank you for tuning in to the Friday Night Top Split presented by Ryco Performance, and we'll see you on the grid.